Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's going to be reviewing the all-new Chevy Trax with the Activ package. Before we get in this video, though, I want to give a huge shout out and thank you to the Large Miller Chevy here in Murray, Utah, for giving me some time with this Trax. This particular one is still available for sale for the time being, so if you're interested, I'll include a link to their website in the description down below so you can check out this Trax and the other vehicles that they have. If you have any questions or need any help, I just butchered that. But anyways, if you have any questions, just ask for Nick and Gage. And then on a side note, if you're going to save time and money the next time you purchase a car, link to my car buying guide in the description down below. Let's get into it. Powering the Trax is a turbocharged 1.2 liter 3-cylinder that goes through a 6-speed automatic transmission. Fuel economy is 28 around town and then 32 on the highway, with power outputs being 137 horsepower and then 162 pound-feet of torque. Now, before we go to the front end, I do want to mention, if you want to see more videos just like this, then I recommend you subscribe because I post content every single day. So starting with the hood, first off, I love this paint color, but you guys can see how it's kind of like raised on either side and then kind of slopes into the center, but then it's also raised in the center. It's an interesting design, but it looks cool. Really sharp looking daytime running lights. You guys can see the headlight down below. And then notice how the grill's all blacked out, including the Chevy bow tie on this Activ package. And when you put it all together, I would say that the Trax is just a very handsome looking vehicle. It stands out. Cover on the side here, our tire wheel setup is 225, 55, 18 in the front and over in the rear as well. And then you guys can see how the wheels are all blacked out as part of this Activ package. Notice the fender flare here, and then you guys can see that trim continues along the side. Mirror caps are blacked out. We actually have keyless entry, as you can see there, and then the door handles are body painted. But putting it all together, again, from a side perspective, I think the Trax just looks really cool. Here's a key fob for the Trax. We have our unlock function or lock function, remote start, and then the Chevy bow tie there on the back. And popping into the rear, you guys can see we've got a cargo cover built in from the factory. Really good storage space down below. And then you can see we've got a nice spare tire there too. But yeah, overall, I mean, practicality in this is pretty dang solid. When you're all done, you've got a handle that you can just up. Taillight design on the Trax is definitely unique, that is for sure. You've got your Activ badge here on the back, and then you guys can see the Trax logo and all of that. And then look at the trim there at the bottom. It's cool with the color. But wrapping things up, after seeing the Trax with this Activ package, I'm like more of a fan. I just think this thing looks really cool. Again, you got to remember, this is ultimately a quote-unquote economy car. Usually they don't look this cool. Now, taking a look at the door panel, you guys can see pretty basic with the material use here on the back, but we do have our little window control here, and then you got some storage down below. But what's not basic are these seats. You've got like neon stitching, just like the Silverado ZR2. That is really cool. And then look how it's like perforated all down the center as well. Now this is quite impressive. Look at the legroom here in the back of the Trax. And then you guys can see here with the little USB storage cubby situation. And then headroom back here is also really good as well. And just overall, like, it's comfortable back here. The seats are really comfortable here in the back. I think they did a really good job with the passenger cabin. Now take a look at the front door panel. The cool thing here is you've got the neon stitching at the top, which is pretty sweet. All of our window controls, you've got your mirror adjustments, door lock and unlock, and then there's the mirrors. Got your Activ logo there at the top, which is pretty cool. And then you guys can see it's perforated all down the center. And I like the two-tone design. You guys can see it's like gray here, and then it's like black in the center. I think that's pretty cool. And again, the neon piping, it is pretty sweet. The seats are bright. Anyways, you got your power adjustments here on the side, and then you got your light control here, and then look at like the vent, and then the dash. Look at the design. That's cool. And then down below too. Good job, Chevy. So taking a look at the steering wheel, I really like the trim all around, and the overall design, I think it looks pretty cool. We do have radio controls on the back. Got some controls for the center stack, voice command, phone controls. Got our cruise control as well as the heated steering wheel function on the steering wheel. Turn signal stock, and then our windshield wiper stock. Now here's a center gauge cluster. I think it looks really cool. It's a digital gauge cluster. It has all the important information like temperature of the engine, how much gas you have. But the cool part is if you hold down the one button on the steering wheel, then you can actually change the gauge view. So here's the second view, and then we can go to gauge view number 3. That's fun. Now in reverse, we have a backup camera with trajectory lines that turn with the steering wheel, and resolution is pretty solid. As for the rest of the infotainment system, first off, got a little volume control here on the side, got the shortcut bar, and then the main screen, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto with it. But like overall response time with the system's great, it's easy to use, and it's kind of like connected to the gauge cluster in a way. It's cool. Here's kind of a better look at the dash design. I just think it looks so sweet here. And then we do have a single zone climate, do have automatic climate, heated seats, which is nice. Got some USB action there, some storage, lane departure here, and then you guys can see the auto, well, can't see it, but there's auto stop start in the front if you can turn that off. And then here's your shifter for the 6-speed automatic. Got your parking brake here, some cup holder action, and then more storage with center console as well. Almost forgot, we got a glove box. It's actually pretty big, that's for sure. And then manual mirror dimmer, and then just a lighter colored headliner. So here's our winter sticker for this Trax. Again, this is a 2024. Yeah, pretty much everything went over with standard equipment. 23,900 is the base MSRP after destination and everything. 24,995 on this thing. Let's see how it drives. Well, let's talk about visibility before we set off. Here's your visibility over the hood, both of the mirrors, throughout the rest of the rear, and Trax away, kind of. I gotta actually reverse first. Don't want to send this over the curb. That would not be good. But anyways, I like these seats. These seats are actually really comfortable. I like the theme of this. This is a fun car. That's kind of one of the reasons why I like these more, you know, economy cars, because they do some fun things to make it, you know, feel like you're getting, you know, more for it, to make it actually exciting to get something that is all about just, you know, basically going from A to B. And I think that Chevy did a great job with that, with this Trax. But let's see how this turbo 1.2 got a little bit torque steer there. That's a solid acceleration, honestly. Like, this thing's got pep in its step. it's honestly pretty dang impressive. If I'm being, like, it's crazy. It's a lot better than I expected initially. Damping's really good at this too, for what it is. Again, like, you gotta remember, this thing is like half the price of the average brand new car, and so it's cool that it drives like this. And I know this driving route is a little bit different than what I normally do, but the big thing about today is there's a stupid amount of traffic, and yeah, I don't want to deal with that. It would basically, like, half the review would be you guys just watching me sit behind people, so we're not going to do that in today's video. We're gonna take our little cheater route back. We're gonna have to go through traffic, but I guess we can kind of sum things up here with this Trax, and I guess we're going through the Toyota lot now. Look at all these Tacomas. Looks like they just got a bunch of those. Ooh, a Prius. That's got some, like, interesting wheels on it, that's for sure. But aside from me getting distracted by a bunch of Toyotas all over, I think this is a great car. It's super affordable. I think it looks cool. The interior is nice. The interior is spacious. Like, it's crazy how spacious this interior is for how small this car is. So I think that Chevy did a really good job. I think that if you're just looking for, like, an affordable A to B car it's got some, I don't know, like, some cool stuff to it. That's the best way for me to describe it. Like, this thing's actually, like, got a cool factor to it. Then that's what this Trax provides. And I guess we'll get one last acceleration here as we're getting back. It's the weirdest driving route I've ever done before, but you know what? It is what it is. Yeah, there is a little bit of torque steer when you first get into it. But anyways, let me know what you guys think about this Trax.